Let's talk about Mai Shiranui. Being the second crossover character for Street Fighter 6, Mai has been making waves in the community because she has an alternative costume that you can't buy. I guess Capcom hates money, apparently. Being one of KOF's most popular characters, Mai was treated with the same love and respect that Terry was treated with, retaining most of her iconic moves. And while she's still not sure hopping around the arena like a true KOF veteran, her moveset will be more than familiar to anyone who's studied the fan before. But for those of you who are new to the Shiranui style, let's go over her moves, shall we? And if you're a fan of Mai's visual characteristics, may I offer you a Gamersup's waifu cup for your troubles. Yes, this video is sponsored by Gamersup's, as several of the videos on this channel. The alternative powdered energy drink formula that doesn't make you crash after drinking them and tastes absolutely amazing. I drink this stuff basically every day. I'm told that there's nothing wrong with my health from my doctor, so it's generally pretty good. Gives me the boost I need in order to get through and make these videos for you guys. I've been drinking a lot of the dragon fruit flavor recently. It's very nice. And of course, they have their waifu cup collection with 2 new ones coming out today and a little bit later in the week. So if you're interested in anything on the store, you can use my code HE'sGekking to get 10% off of anything purchased through the store. They've got waifu cups, they've got amazing flavors, they got caffeine-free versions, they got things to help you sleep, they got snacks, and they have VTuber trading cards, which is something I don't know a lot about, but if you're into that, then go for it. So go to gamersups.gg and use code HE'sGekking to get 10% off any order on the site. Her 236P is Kachosen. She throws one of her fans in front of her, causing it to act like a fireball. The fireball has variable speeds, depending on the strength that you use, with light being the slowest and heaviest being the fastest. If you hold down the button, you're able to actually charge the move. If you do this, the fan will then pop in the air when it connects the opponent, having an extra hitbox on its way down. The gap timing changes between all 3 versions, with light having the smallest gap and heavy having the biggest. This means that the fans have different uses. Light is very good for instant pressure due to it basically hitting right after it pops. Heavy is good for mixing up the opponent as you're able to actually throw them between the first and second hit of the fan, and medium is good for combos as the hit back down will actually connect after you do a normal attack. They all have their own niche uses and all have different combos after it. However, if you're using them in neutral, make sure to mix them up. If your opponent has no idea which fan toss is about to pop, you can actually mix them up by throwing them out of their parry or making them strike when they really shouldn't. The OD version has Mai throw out fans. If you hold it, you send out an extra one, and by then pressing forward and punch, or continuing to hold forward while holding punch, you send out 2 extra fans. Both of these extra fans bounce on contact. Her 236P is a vital part of her game plan, and you'll be using it a lot in pressure and neutral. Finding ways to set it up can be a little bit difficult, but once you do find it, Mai has the easiest time following up her fireballs in neutral. Her 214P is Ryuenbu. This is a small strike that can work in combos. The light version hits once and can be used to combo into level 3. It's also the only version that's safe on block. The medium version hits twice and pops the opponent up a little bit, and the heavy version sends the opponent flying, but only hits standing characters. The medium and heavy version are both very good at extending combos into DP, or even into getting a super. The heavy version is also very useful for corner combos. The OD version sends the opponent flying into the air, and it hits even if they're crouching. If you're really worried about hitting the combo, using the OD version can be a very smart move. Her 236K is Hisatsu Shinobi Bachi. This is a cartwheel followed by a large lunging attack. Both of these have hitboxes. You can use this as a gap closing tool, but it is very negative on block. It's generally much better to use it as a way to get the opponent to the corner, as hitting the opponent with it sends them absolutely flying across the screen. The light version has fast startup, and it can actually be comboed from your lights. It also gives you a very nice amount of frame advantage. The medium and heavy versions have a longer startup, but go further across the screen. If you want to be an absolute gorilla, you can just send them, but I really wouldn't recommend it. The OD version actually has Mai end up in the air, allowing for her to use her unique enders. These are things like her dive kick and her level 2 air super. Speaking of her dive kick, doing 214P in the air actually has Mai dive downwards towards the opponent. It is negative on block, however, like most dive kicks in Street Fighter, if you angle it correctly, you can make it safe on block. You'll mostly be using this to end combos that happen in the air, or to dive over fireballs in order to start your pressure. It's a very useful tool against fireball spammers. The 623K is Hisho Rienji. This is a bog standard DP move. All versions are air invincible from the first frame. The light version hits pretty close to Mai, whereas the medium and heavy versions go a little bit further forward. The OD version gives Mai full invincibility. Expect my players to spam this, because anytime you give anyone a DP, they fucking love to use it. Like all other characters, she has 3 different supers. Her level 1 is a invincible reversal, but that's not the most important thing about it. Using this actually powers Mai up. She gets 5 stacks of flame, and this means that all of her special moves will now be empowered. This gives the next 5 special moves she does more damage, but also gives them better properties. Normally this means that they have better frame advantage, however some of them lead to better combos and better setups. You can actually get a safe jump off of empowered 214M, so it's very important to use. It's going to be a very important part of her toolkit. So finding ways to combo into it so you can continue your offense is going to be an absolute must for this character in the future. A level 2 isn't as interesting. It is a large hitting damage ender that sends the opponent flying across the screen. If you want to get the opponent to the corner and aren't willing to burn a little bit of meter, this is probably your best bet. Also, it being level 2 means that it is very easy to combo into. And finally, her level 3 and critical are the same as usual. Big cinematic supers that do a shit ton of damage. Thankfully for Mai, they're extremely easy to combo into thanks to 214L, and this means that you can cash out even in the smallest of combos. Mai is a tricky character who excels at several points on the screen, but requires setup in order to be truly effective. While she has a lot of different tools to get in on her opponent, she doesn't have a lot of good options when she's there. Lacking any plus on block options at close range really hurts her, especially since all of her normals are negative on block. Because of this, Mai likes to play a hit and run game, in which she knocks down the opponent, sets up her fans, and then begins approaching them again. Once she does get set up though, her pressure can be brutal. Making good use of her install state is going to be vital for maximizing a character, as the added properties of your fans will go a long way. She's also a corner carry goddess, being able to send the opponent flying off of even light normals. Once her opponent is in the corner, her combos are easy and hard hitting, allowing for you to cash out into any super without too much effort. Unfortunately, due to her setup nature, characters that excel at zoning, or even just characters that have a fireball, will be able to shut down her more blatant attempts at fan tosses. But she doesn't have to rely on her fans to get that first knockdown. Her shoulder-like nature means that she's malleable enough to be able to adjust her neutral game to respond to the opponent's habits before running her fan pressure. So if you want a shoulder-like character with strong fireballs, great air approach options, devastating combos that not only look flashy, but do a bunch of damage, play Akuma. But if you get sick of him, Mai's not a bad second choice.